9 people went into the mountains. They were experienced, prepared, and intelligent. None of them came back. And what was found instead should not have been possible. The year is 1959, in the heart of the Soviet Union. 9 young hikers, mostly students and engineers, set out on an expedition into the Ural Mountains. Their leader is a young man named Igor Dyatlov. Now, this isn't some casual weekend trip. These are certified experts in winter survival and mountaineering. They're heading into an environment where temperatures regularly plummet below -30 degrees Celsius. But they've trained for this. Their goal is ambitious but straightforward: reach a remote mountain peak and return alive. They never do. When the group fails to return on schedule, search teams are dispatched. Days stretch into agonizing weeks. Finally, their campsite is discovered on a desolate mountain slope, and immediately the scene is deeply unsettling. The tent is still standing, but it's been sliced open from the inside, not unzipped, not torn by an animal, but deliberately cut from within by the people who were supposed to be safe inside it. Leading away from the tent, a trail of footprints presses into the deep snow. But these aren't boot prints. They're from bare feet, some in socks, some completely naked, running from their only shelter without coats or boots into the deadly -30-degree cold. It makes no sense. A few hundred meters away, under a large cedar tree, the first 2 bodies are found. They are dressed only in their underwear. Their hands are burned as if they'd desperately tried to start a fire. Between that tree and the abandoned tent, 3 more bodies are discovered, including Dyatlov himself. They are frozen solid, seemingly mid-stride, as if they were trying to crawl back to the safety of the tent. They didn't make it. The searchers are horrified, but the worst is yet to come. It takes 2 more months for the snow to melt enough to reveal the final 4 hikers. They're found in a ravine, buried under 4 meters of snow. And this is where the story turns from a tragic accident into a truly terrifying mystery. One of the women is missing her tongue and her eyes. Another hiker has a skull fractured with immense force. A third has his ribs completely shattered, caved inward. The coroner noted there were no external wounds, no bruising on the skin. The force required to cause such internal damage would be comparable to being hit by a car. And then there is the detail that baffles investigators to this day. Some of their clothes were found to be radioactive, not dangerously high levels, but significant enough to be noted in the official report. Where did this radiation come from? The official Soviet investigation was brief and maddeningly vague. After a few months, the case was abruptly closed. The final conclusion: the hikers died from an unknown compelling force. That's it. No further explanation. The files were sealed, the photos were classified, and the families were told to stop asking questions. The area itself was closed off to the public for years, and the mountain pass where the incident occurred was grimly renamed Dyatlov Pass. So what happened? Theories have swelled for decades. Could it have been an avalanche? Unlikely, say the experts. The slope wasn't steep enough, and the tent wasn't buried in debris. It was standing when the search party found it. What about secret military weapons testing? Some locals did report seeing strange orange spheres of light in the sky on the night the hikers died. Was the group in the wrong place at the wrong time, witnesses to something they shouldn't have seen? Another theory is infrasounder, low-frequency sound wave produced by wind patterns that can induce feelings of intense panic and dread in humans. Could this have caused the experienced hikers to lose their minds, slash their way out of the tent, and flee into the freezing darkness? It's a possibility, but does it explain the crushed ribs, the missing tongue, and the radiation? Then there's the last theory, the one whispered by local indigenous tribes. They believe something else was on that mountain, a spirit or a creature that does not want to be disturbed, something that doesn't leave footprints. And one final chilling detail from the case files. The expressions on the faces of the deceased were described not as fear, but as profound terror. Even today, experienced climbers who visit the area report a heavy, oppressive feeling. They say the mountain feels wrong, like it remembers what happened. 9 people entered the mountains. Only questions came back. No single explanation fits all the bizarre facts of this case. No theory can account for every strange detail, and that, perhaps, is the scariest part of all. Because whatever happened on that mountain was powerful enough to erase the truth. Some places don't want visitors, and some mysteries, they don't want to be solved. They want to be feared.